Hi, New York office. Hi, Bruce. This is your postcard from Brazil. The beach is back there, I promise. Now that you're moving on, I'm sure you're reflecting a bit on your 9 years at EcoSecurities, and I thought it would help a little. What I remember most is that you always lead by example, and I think this is the best kind of leadership. I think we all appreciated and learned from the thoughtful and calm way that you approached even the most stressful situations. And now for the somewhat questionable memories. You also led outside the office as well. I'm thinking of after the Oxford anniversary party, after the after party in fact, when we were all making our way somewhat scatteredly to Will and Noemi's house. And then, out of nowhere, you and Nick appeared with a giant shopping cart full of booze and led the charge. This is questionable not in taste, but in that I'm about 95% sure that I'm remembering correctly. But if you don't have the same memory, let's just say you forgot, because it's one of my favorites. I wish you all the best in your next adventures and look forward to catching up next time I'm in New York. Cheers, guys. Have fun.
Hi Bruce, someone suggested I should sing a song, but in order not to ruin the whole program, I think a few words on behalf of China office would be more appropriate. Confucius said, choosing a right job and you will never have to work a day in your life. This holds very true working in a company like EcoSecurities under your leadership. You have given all of us a real-life MBA course and taught us how to grow a business in a changeable and competitive environment. Choosing the right people like Peter Ho, raising enough capital, and deploying the right strategy at the right time. We all know, as the CEO, you have been under great pressure, but you always look so calm. Your confidence has led us to believe anything impossible could become possible. You should be proud of what has been accomplished, and we are very proud of having worked for you in the past few years. We hope to keep in touch with you and hope to see you more often in China. Remember, you got our invitation to come visit Shanghai Expo with your family. See you soon. Bye.
Hi Bruce, I was told that they were making a video in honor of your departure from EcoSecurities. I thought it was a great idea, and what better time for me to do it? The only time a student ever gets to do anything with his free time at 2 a.m. I just wanted to let you know that I think it was fantastic being able to work with you and for you. He did a lot for me in my personal life and in my career, and you were a big influence on what I want to do in my life, and you were always so willing and ready to help. And I think that's so important, especially from a CEO, when you can really just kind of have the kind of relationship with that person where you can call him up or email him and go into his office and have a conversation. That's rare, and I think that's really something to be said about you as a person. And I know I appreciated that in my time in EcoSecurities, and I know that you'll take that with you for the rest of your career and your life. So it's much appreciated. The only other thing I left to say is that you are fired, and finally that they're really taking my advice and really getting ready this time. Well, best of luck, Bruce, with everything you do. Take care.
Hi, Bruce. Congratulations. I hear you're moving on after yet another success. Very happy for you and hope you will keep in touch, and I wish you all the best of luck in your next endeavor. As for memories that I have of working with Bruce, I remember primarily when I first came over from Spain and was still thinking in Spanish, and I would often begin discussions with Bruce and I would get stuck on a word, or I would translate something literally, and he was very patient and just calmly waited for me to come up with the right word, although at one point he did ask me, you are originally from here, aren't you? So I never saw him angry, always very calm, very good-humored guy, very patient, and I think I remember he was always quick to laugh, especially with Kevin when Kevin decided he was going to be CEO and he'd still keep Bruce around because he was a good guy. And with Jim Heath, Bruce could not resist laughing with Jim Heath. I think we had a lot of miscommunications due to my language abilities, and I remember after the 10-year anniversary party that Bruce, Pedro, and Mark had all left together in a cab, and I had left shortly thereafter. And so back in New York, Bruce asked me if I'd stayed longer, and I said, oh yeah, I just caught a cab with Paulo back to the hotel. Nope, that's not right. That's not right.
You're fired.
So after being officially fired by Kevin for bleeping my last video, I've snuck into EcoSecurity's offices on a Saturday night with Chi to tell the real story, the real end of that story. So back in New York, Bruce asked me if I'd stayed at the party much longer, and I said no, I was there a bit longer, and then I went back to the hotel with Paulo. And Bruce just looked at me like I was confessing some unthinkable sin, and finally I figured out what that sounded like, and I said, no, I took a cab with Paulo back to the hotel. All of EcoSecurity's employees were staying at the same place. So a lot of miscommunications. Bruce was always very patient and didn't jump to conclusions about what I was saying. So it was great working with you, Bruce. Really, I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Stay in touch and take care. Bye.
Hey Bruce, just wanted to thank you for everything that you've done for EcoSecurities and wish you the best of luck with all of your future endeavors. I know that you've been a critical reason as for why EcoSecurities is in the place that it's in today, and so I just wanted to thank you very much, and I hope that you enjoy everything that you do from here on out.
Hi Bruce, just want to say thank you for all those years that you've been looking after me. I've always looked up to you as a role model, and I will still look up to you as a role model. Nobody can deny what you've done at EcoSecurities. I think what you did was great. You brought up such a company from non-public to public. I think it's great things that you did for this company, and you'll be greatly remembered. We'll miss you very much.
Bruce, I met you for the first time in this office when I had been living in the Philippines, and you guys heard about some random Stanford grad that was interested in hanging out at pig projects, and you needed someone there as a project manager. And I was home visiting. It was February of 2006, and I was home visiting my parents, and I came up to interview, and I didn't really know much about EcoSecurities at the time. I borrowed a suit from my mother, and I came up and I interviewed with you, Mark, Annika, Jesse Fink. It was the most intimidating thing, and that was my introduction to EcoSecurities. And I think the next time we saw each other was in Oxford at the 10-year anniversary party. So I got to see a whole other side, and I may or may not have given Marie and Sonia some incriminating photos of you partying in Oxford. And so I got to see a really fun side of Bruce Usher, and I think another favorite memory is our karaoke night. I definitely put on some Bruce Springsteen, or requested some Bruce Springsteen for you to karaoke to at one of our parties. But anyway, you've definitely gone above and beyond CEO duties by accompanying me to meetings when I needed to command more respect, and doing recommendations for me twice. So I feel so lucky to have gotten to know you, and you will be greatly, greatly missed.